Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Dr. Glenn Vo, and I have my friend here, Aaron Boone from MVP Mailhouse. Aaron, what's up, man?
Great to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Man, Aaron, I am so excited to get you on, man. And I really want to get what jarred my memory, why I need to bring you on, is that we talked recently. I was like, Aaron, dude, it is like near the end of the year, the use it or lose it. I need to really, I'm doing email blasts, and now I need to blast out mailers. And I said, dude, is it? And I was worried. I was like, you've been kind of reminding me, say, hey, Glenn, man, you got to get on this. You got to get on this. And we did mailer. It was really good. And I just got kind of busy and stuff. And finally, I'm like, oh, dude, I need to get back. And I talked to you, and you're like, okay, you do have some time. Okay, but we got to be on the ball. You're like, I'm going to send you some proofs, and you have to basically agree to them or change it right away. And let's talk about that, because right now, today is October, guys. I can't believe it.
Yes.
It went by fast. And Aaron, here's the thing. In your business, you know how time flies really fast. So why is it important? I mentioned one thing, but let's reiterate it.
Yeah.
Why is it important for practice owners, for the people who are watching right now? Why is it important to do your mailers or start thinking about it now?
Yeah, great question. So honestly, these next few months are really kind of the peak season as we go into especially kind of high PPO practices or insurance-based practices. There's really some key months right here. And the reason why is obviously, as you guys know, there's expiring benefits out there. There's literally hundreds of patients, hundreds of potential patients, I should say, that are out there that haven't established care with an office this year. And that is why direct mail is one of the few ways you can proactively get in front of these folks right away and still have time to get them in your door before the end of the year. And, turnaround time, all that stuff, logistics, we take care of all of that, from the design to the targeting of the homes, to the mailing and all that, to make sure that you can meet those deadlines. But there's a lot of things that people don't take into account. And one, most wait till the end, and that's a real common mistake. I get calls at like end of November. Hey, do I still have time? And the problem is, there is actually a really great week in December to mail. But the problem is, oftentimes offices already get filled up with their own patients that are procrastinating, and they don't have room for these new patients the last few weeks of the year, and they just lost a lot of opportunity with new patients, because it's not just that one; it's their family. It's that network that is going somewhere else.
And Aaron, I want to add one thing too, is this, okay? People, they sometimes it takes them a while to respond. You the other day you sent me this email and you're like, hey, you're still getting responses from like the very first mailer. I'm like, what are you kidding? I was like, get out of here. And you showed me there. And so if you're waiting till the last minute, what do you think is going to happen when you really want to finish this year off strong, right? So let's talk about this. Let's talk about because there's good times to mail, there's bad times to mail, especially during this busy season. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And I have had this conversation a lot lately. So what happens in most dental practices is I see a really great August, right? Most offices, even organically, have a pretty good August. It's the back to school feel. It's new patients, it's growth. Everyone's kind of riding high, feeling good about life and about their office. And then September hits. And now it's not for every practice, but the majority that I talk to, September hits and it almost always plummets. It's not just new patient either. It's, the practice in general. Sometimes there's a few more openings and like, man, what's happening here? So people start to feel a little bit of a pain. And just, as I analyze, so I love the data, right? The analytics and what's happening behind the scenes here. And as I look at practices, if you were to draw like a straight line of the average number of new patients you get, let's say you're averaging 20 new patients per month. Okay. In August, you're going to go up typically double digits, somewhere around 12% of that baseline. Where in September, you're dropping down significantly. In double digits. So between those 2 months, you have this swing of a high to the low of lows in a year for most offices. So in September, this new patient kind of struggle really starts hitting. And the good news is, though, and this is what a lot of offices, are hoping, as October gets here and November, it starts to recover. October jumps back up to almost a double digit. Same with November. And if you have some irons in the fire, December can finish really strong with new patients. And a lot of people, they give up. They don't think that at the end of the year they can get new patients. Let's just really hunker down on our own, which is still a great strategy. And I want you to keep hunkering down on your own. They've already came to you. But there are a lot of people out there. You know, I was reading this article a little bit ago. It was something from the ADA. It was like 97% of people don't use all of their benefits. They don't maximize all their dental benefits. So there are literally hundreds of people around each office, blocks away from your practice, literally have not used their benefits this year. Now, and it's not just insurance. You have flex spending accounts that are out there too, and other dollars that are cash patients that are possibilities for you as well. So I try to keep all those things in mind, and we want to design a card that speaks to those people.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're the feature of the card. You know, I have a couple of designs here and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, there's a good looking
right there.
That's a good looking one right there. But notice, you're the feature of the card, but there's a big FYI right there. Hey, use your dental benefits before they expire, or don't let them go to waste. And a lot of these people out there, that hits you, as a dad and, a father myself, if I'm paying for any benefits, man, I want to use them. I don't want them to go to waste. I paid for them all year, even if your employer makes you pay a percentage of them or you give them for free. No one likes wasting stuff. But the beauty of direct mail is we can get in front of people proactively. Day one, they get this card, and day one, you get calls. Day two, you get calls, and day three. And then, like you said, some people are going to hold on to this thing, and in 6 months from now, I kid you not, next March or April, they're going to call me. Hey, I had this sitting on my fridge, and I finally decided to call.
Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of times and guys, if you like what you're hearing right now, type in the comments section MVP, because we got the MVP of mailers right here, Aaron Boone right here. And Aaron, someone just gave you a shout out here. Go Cats. So, so a fellow Kentucky person right there giving you a shout out there. So, guys, I mean, here's the thing, you send these mailers out, right? Because some patients, and we all have these type of patients. I'll have patients come in, they're like, I was like, what brings you in the office? Well, I got dental insurance. Like literally, that's the reason why they came in. I got dental insurance, and here I am. And you know what? For those patients who have dental insurance and they want to go somewhere, why not let it be your office? Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. Why not let that be your office there? I also like hold up that postcard one more time. So when Aaron gave me this proof, what really sold it for me, and he told me, he's like, dude, we got to put this little big thing that says, don't let your dental benefits go to waste. I mean, when you pick up that card, you look at it, you're like, whoa, that's like right in your face there. Right in your face there. So hold on, we got
and Dr. Bo, it's in your face, but the other things that jump out are your other strengths. And we talked about this last time. We want to play to your strengths. And if you've won awards, if you've won, the best of Denton, if you have 400 plus 5-star reviews, I want to let the world know. I want your neighbors to know. I want your hottest neighborhoods to know. Mm-hmm. So we don't just mail to a basic radius, but we do want to keep in mind proximity to practice. Okay, think about this I look at patient data all the time. I mean, I go in and I'll pin drop out where your new patient growth is coming from. And then I identify your hottest growth neighborhoods. Okay, so don't think of gone are the days where you just draw a circle around your office and mail to every neighborhood possible. I want to find your best neighborhoods. And then getting in front of them, when I look at offices that are really heavy on just like TV or radio or 1-800-Dentist or some more broader aspects, you'll get patients, different marketing works. The beauty of direct mail is you're getting them closer to your practice and they have longer life, meaning they don't come for that one visit all the way across town because they had a bad toothache that one day, but they're not going to keep coming driving past 20 offices unless you totally wow them. And I'm hoping every office does, but I'm telling you, it is hard to keep patients long-term if they're driving 20 miles and passing all these other dentists. People want to be, I look at pin drop maps. We use do you remember our software Map IQ?
Yeah. So let's talk about that again, because, you were on like almost a year ago. Okay. And you were talking about that. And that was something that really sold me on working with you, because, I'm used to working with other companies where they're like, that big little circle. It's like that Google circle. Like, okay, we're going to send it right here. and we're going to send it over here. And I'm like, okay. But when you went through it, you're like, Dr. Vo, I'm actually sending it to where most of your patients come through. I have this heat map. But let's talk about that for those who are watching right now and they missed that first live. Talk about that. Why that's
so this is one of our nifty deals. I will do this for free for any practice, regardless of what marketing you're doing. Okay. What I have you do is I look at this data every day, and it is super compelling and really interesting. What I want to identify, number one, is how patients are coming and where patients are coming currently. So I like to look at your last 3 years of new patient data. Now, I don't get into your practice management software. Whether you use Dentrix, Open Dental, doesn't matter to me. I have instructions for all of them. I send you those instructions. You run that report for me. I don't need names. I don't need production. I don't need phone numbers. I just need the addresses. Okay. With that address information, I feed it into our Map IQ that me and my partner have built. And it literally highlights, it pin drops out your patients, but it identifies geographical barriers, interstates, rivers, mental barriers. For example, people tend to migrate towards cities instead of out of cities. So if you're a practice in like a suburban area, you're better off marketing outside as people come towards cities rather than try to pull people out of a city. Okay. And I look at this all the time. Or maybe there's an interstate, and it is super compelling how people will not jump that interstate for whatever reason, or the other side of the tracks, and it's not just geography. We also look at some ties in with income or home values, families, retirement communities. So we do all that nerdy stuff. You don't have to worry about it. So the office runs that. I run them an analysis, a map, and I basically do an exam of your new patients over the last few years. I also look for new opportunities. What are your fastest growing neighborhoods? New subdivisions and things like that. We have all that data, and it links it into these neighborhoods, and I put together some proposals for you. And I say, hey, Dr. Vogt, if you want to do our minimum order, this is your coverage area. These are the best areas. This is what it costs. If you want to do our average order, this is what it covers. This is what it costs. If you want to be aggressive growth right now, this is what it costs. This is your coverage area. So I don't sell you on anything. I just lay it all out and make it really easy for you to understand. And even if you don't do direct mail, it's going to be great information for you to know where you should be looking for growth, whether you're doing school events, community fairs, whatever, public events, knocking doors on businesses. I don't really care how you market, but you should know where to market. Yeah. And that's really important.
Well, so Aaron, I want to let everyone know, that is the reason why I started doing my mailers with MVP. Because most of you guys probably know that I am a very big EDDM guy. I wrote a post about it. I actually did a little tutorial video about it. I was good at doing that. But the one thing that you can't do if you try to do it on your own, yes, it might be thrifty, but it's actually not nifty because Aaron's got the Map IQ. And what I was basically doing when I was doing the EDDM, and you know what? Hey, I would say, guys, if you want to try it one time. Get your team or you sit there while you're watching football instead of eating nachos. You're putting together those postcards together, and then think about it when you put it in your car and take it to the post office and hand that box, and the mail guy looks at you and rolls his eye because you're one of those guys, right? And then you just send like a 10,000 out there, right? Just randomly, just put it out there. They do have like a little map thing by demographics and whatnot, but literally you're just mailing just blindly. And Aaron showed me that, and that's the great thing about the Map IQ. And you just said something that was music to my ears. It was music to my ears when we first talked, and I think it's music to everyone's ears. And doing that service costs how much for your clients? How much does it cost for your clients? For someone to sign up to use that Map IQ? How much does it cost?
I'll run that analysis for you for free. Free. I'll
like magic. That was like music to my ears.
Here, listen to this. If an office wants to do EDDM and that's worth their time, I mean, shoot, I do it-yourself dentistry. I pulled out my kid's tooth the other day. I literally.
Hey, you work with enough dentists out there. You can get them to help you out.
Well, I video recorded it and actually hooked a floss to my dog and to his tooth, and then chased my dog and it pulled it out. So I know that's not the most correct way, but it's nifty, or it's thrifty, right? So
right.
Anyway, back to direct mail. If an office wants to do this themselves, I'm fine with it. I mean, literally, we're a few pennies more when you really add up all the man hours and time that goes into it. Probably even cheaper for some cases, because not everyone gets the best printing deals. Not everyone gets has the economies of scales that we have. So we design it. We don't have to guess on the design. We lay all this out for you. I just send you over a few different designs. Hey, this is what
when we talk, literally the end of the day, you send me something over. And especially guys right now, when we're talking, the reason why Aaron's here is because, guys, it's getting to the end of the year. It's crunch time, right? It's Q4. You want to really kick some butt before you end the year out. And you got to get on the ball. If you're thinking about doing it now, you need to get on the ball. And that's why Aaron's here. That's why we're talking about this.
Yeah. Well, and with that being said, there are still some really great weeks to mail. Okay. So the way, I've tracked every week of the year, literally millions of cards I've tracked. And what I mean by track is this tracking number.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a little before. Every call is recorded that comes from your postcard. When you mail in October to the north of your practice, it has its own phone number. When you mail November to the south, it has a different phone number. Mm-hmm. And then, so I'm able to track each mailing totally independently. Whether they call today or 6 months from now, you'll know it was from your October mailing. Okay, so with that tracking, I've tracked every week of the year, and there's still some really great weeks to mail. Okay, so right now in October, when we have time, we are very efficient because this is all we do. I don't do your local dry cleaning ads and pizza joints and stuff like that. I just do dental practices all day, every day, our entire team. Okay, we're exclusively dedicated to it. So as an office comes in, I like to run them a proposal. All that's totally free. I'll lay it out for you. This is what I suggest. You get back to me. Hey, sounds great. Let's go with your average order. And we start on the artwork. It takes 20 minutes to fill out our design questionnaire. We put together a few different layouts and designs for you to choose from. And man, I got cards here for days, that different designs, different themes. This one right here, use it or lose it, right there at the top. And it's not the feature of the card, but it's going to get your attention. It jumps out, and then you read the rest of it. So October, let's talk about that real quick. In October, we still have time to design it and print it and ship it. It'll get in homes. Right now, we're taking orders for that the end of October. So it hit homes the week of October 21st or 28th. That's how quick we could still get one in. In November, and I'll just give out my data, guys. I want you to know this. In November, do not mail the last 2 weeks of the month. Most people think only mail the first 2 weeks of November. Most people think it's actually because of Thanksgiving, but it's not. I'm sure there's a little piece of that.
Yeah.
It's because of Black Friday. And what happens is in that mailbox, you're going to have a Walmart ad that's about this thick. You're going to have a Costco ad that's like 5 papers big. You're going to have everyone advertising black mail, and this postcard is going to get overshadowed. But if it hits homes that first week or second week of November, you're jumping out, because all those retailers are waiting to the back end of the month to hit you hard. So, and then as you get to December, I like the first week of the month. Early December, it gives you time for them to react. You still have 3 weeks to get them in. So that December 2nd, that first week of December, we're hitting homes, calls are coming. They still have a few weeks to get in, get seen, use their benefits before the end of the year.
So, Aaron, so let me ask you this. So someone really wants to end the year strong. They want to really get all those patients who, they're a PPO heavy practice. You want them to use their benefits there. Would you suggest doing a mailer October, November, December, just like how you laid it out?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's still time to do 2 to 3 mailings. Now, if the budget's a little tighter, I would just go with 2. I'd try to get one in late October and then come back with December 2nd. And we're hitting 2 different areas. Okay. So you're able to get more coverage. If your budget allows, space these out 3 weeks apart, mailing 1, mailing 2, mailing 3. And that's typically what our intro program is. I don't lock anyone into long-term contracts or anything like that. I want to prove it out over our 3 mailing program, so you and I both have confidence that it's working well. And then you can make a better decision going into 2020. Hey, this is something I definitely want as part of my marketing repertoire.
I love it. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Aaron really, he lets the mailers do its work, and he basically doesn't hold anyone to a contract. That's what he told me. He was like, look, do a mailing with me, Dr. Vo, and you'll see. And sure enough, I was like, hey, I need to hurry up and get some mailers done here for the end of the year. Now, what's funny is that I actually just looked at an email that you sent to me, and you said, hey, we saw, because you were talking about the listening to the phone calls and whatnot, and a patient had called. She didn't mention you guys, but because you guys track it, you knew it came from you guys. I'm like, hey, this came from you. They didn't say anything. Oh, hey, Dr. Vo, just give you a heads up, man. We have a tracking number. So that is so cool. Like, they really want to make sure that you know what leads are coming there. And you know what? I have a question. Can we take some questions? A whole bunch of questions. I'm like yapping here. And can you take some questions, Aaron?
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm a total direct mail nerd. So go ahead.
We got a patient. I mean, we got a doc who did a startup practice.
Yeah,
I'm a new office. I have no data. What am I supposed to do, Aaron?
All day, every day. I love grand openings. I'm like sympathetic. Like, I love getting in that grind of the young practice. I honestly, sincerely, like, one of my most gratifying parts of this job is when I get an email from a doc that has opened a new practice or taken over a practice, and they're still working as associate somewhere else. They're trying to balance the two, right? And the day that they write me that email that says, hey, today was my last day as an associate. I'm full-time in my practice growing. Like, and thank you for all the help and the new patients, because you got to get new patients to survive, right? So I think even more so new patients. So I have some grand openings here of how we kind of play to some strengths of some grand openings. You'll see, grand opening, like I do grand openings all the time. Okay. The reason where I can bring value in a grand opening is I've looked at hundreds of Map IQ maps. I see how people tend to migrate towards practices, healthy practices. I see unhealthy practices. You send me over patient data, I can almost tell you how well that practice is doing with their growth, because based on how spread out those patients are coming from, how tight they are, there's a lot of information in that. So that, whether you use me or not, let me look at the area. Let me put together that, hey, here's a conservative approach. Here's a consistent growth, average order, or here's an aggressive approach. And I love new data. So yeah, absolutely. You want to take in for a new office, you definitely want to look at those geographical barriers, build from the inside out. Don't try to take over the whole city day one. Okay. You got to build from these inner neighborhoods out. And I'd be happy to look at the area, take into account some geographical barriers like major interstates, major rivers, things like that might impede people from crossing over.
Now, this is from a different doc, but I think this is a really good follow-up question. I'm going to put this up here. And what he's asking is, okay, so I guess he's trying to figure out how you do the map thing. Do you pinpoint the areas, like the mail routes that you send mailers, or how does that work exactly? So I guess they're wondering if that's what you use. You use mail routes or whatnot.
So yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not delivering this postcard, right? You and I both need the post office to deliver, the mailman, woman to deliver that piece of mail. So this is where we get really nerdy, right? On the back end of the data, our Map IQ, this is what's really cool. When we pin out your patients, we actually link it on the back end in spreadsheets and data to actual mail carrier routes. So I can tell you your highest market share. Bob, route number 223, has 12% of your market share right now. His 400 homes that he delivers to, you have the highest concentration of patients in that route. Versus Nancy, who delivers over on the east of town, and what their concentration is. So yes, we link it to individual mail routes where we can pick and choose. The difference with EDDM, though, is even if you know those routes, you still have to mail to everyone in that route.
Yeah.
The beauty of the postage that we use, and I don't do every door direct mail postage, I pay more to get a better postage, in my opinion and my experience. I can actually take out your current patients. So I don't have to mail to every home in that route. I can
because your pages are going to you. Why you got to send a postcard to them?
Exactly. And here's the thing. If you take out, let's say that you have 700 active, 1,600 active, whatever your patient base is, 2,000, rather than mail to them, you can take them out and we can add more neighborhoods with those mailers. Otherwise, you're wasting that money, right? So why not add 2 more outskirt neighborhoods or something, take a chance out there rather than mail to this one and this one that are your patients.
So guys, I mean, I'm always fascinated with hearing how Aaron kind of explains everything. But let's get real, guys. For those who are listening, who listen to all those things that he just said, Are you gonna sit there and try to figure it out yourself? And that's what when Aaron went over this. And look, I'm the Nifty Thrifty guy. Okay, when Aaron went over this and he showed me the map and all these things, I thought to myself, man, that sure is a lot of work that I don't want to do. I'd rather work with someone who's done this for years because, Aaron, I actually met you through when you were working somewhere else. But let's just say this: before your career as an NFL football player, we'll talk about that as well. Okay, but before that, you got into this crazy business of marketing for dentists. How long have you been in the mailing business?
So yeah, we're coming up. I was actually kind of adding that up the other day. So I, after college, I went to college in Kentucky. That's why we got the Go Cats there a while back. And then, I was lucky enough to play wide receiver. I played 9 years of pro football. So I never got, my joke always is, I never got rich and famous. I didn't buy a Papa John's franchise and all that stuff. I never got the Tom Brady money, the Peyton Manning money. But I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun chasing a dream for a small town kid that just, dreamed big. And I had a chance to play in some of these big stadiums down in the SEC in college. And then I went to the Dallas Cowboys. Then I went to the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. I played in Europe, 2 seasons in NFL Europe. And then I played arena football. Like I mentioned, Bon Jovi was my first boss in arena football. I played in Philadelphia. And, I was just a kid at heart, playing out a dream. I loved it. And I mentioned that because, yes, it is football season. Yes, it is cool when I look back at it. It feels like another life. In fact, honestly, the hardest part for me now is, I swear I have PTSD, is I wake up this time of the year with nightmares. And it's not someone chasing me or tackling me or most nightmares are like someone dying or you're falling off like that. My nightmares are literally a team called me back up. Hey, Aaron, we need you. I get there. I'm all excited. I'm putting on my helmet, putting on my gloves, and I only have one shoe on. Or I only have one glove. Or I can't find my mouthpiece and they're yelling at me, come on, Boone, we need you. And I wake up in like this sweat and I can't play. Those are like my worst nightmares from football.
So how long have you been into the mailing business here?
So we're going on, about 8 years, 8 years plus.
8 years. And here's the thing, like I said, guys, I used to do the EDM myself. I even did a post about it. I even did a video to show people about it. I'll tell you what, you can do it yourself, but you don't have this map IQ. And you also don't have someone who knows these trends, right? Someone who has a startup practice, they're like, I don't have any data. How are you going to help me? And Aaron right then and there broke it down and said, look, I know the history. I know the tendency. I know all these things here. I mean, that's what's amazing. But I'm going to go back to football real quick before I put the question. I know, guys, keep the questions coming. Keep the questions coming. But I got to talk to Aaron about some football here because I'm in Dallas. I'm a huge Cowboys fan. And so Aaron used to play for the Cowboys, man. And man, we sure stunk it up in New Orleans, man. Did you catch that game?
I did. No, I was actually afraid to talk to you this week because I'm like, dang, he's not going to be riding his high this week.
I was so depressed because I was like, man, we're going to just stomp over New Orleans. There's no Drew Brees and stuff. And then they were saying the last time they played, it was a defensive struggle, and Dallas won. I think it was 12-10 as well. 12 or 13-10. It was very close. And what happened? New Orleans didn't score a single touchdown, but we still lost there. So, Aaron, I'm going to ask you here. Well, no, I'm kind of scared to ask you there. But Dak is gunning for that $30 million contract, right? Should Jerry pony up the money, or is it that we got to let him play it? Because, for a while, it looked like we're going to have to pay him more, but he kind of came back down there. What do you think?
Yeah, I think right now Jerry kind of has the cards. I think you let him play it out a little more. I think you've already paid. I think Ezekiel's more of a I don't know, just a game changer. Although he didn't do that great last week either. But I just think I would wait it out. Jerry Jones, he's a tough guy. I've golfed with him. I've been around him. Just around as much as I can to a boss that's totally a different level than you. But he's there, and he knows what he's doing. He's been around the block. I would like to see the Cowboys win. Honestly, the only guy there that I even know, even coaches, everything, is now that Jason Witten's back. We were rookies.
So I have to bring that up because amazing story that you told me is that, and this is really amazing. You and Jason Witten came in together to the Cowboys.
Yeah. We were rookies. Him, Tony Romo, Jason Witten. That was our class.
Yeah, and now when you're looking at it right now, Witten come out of retirement. You look at it; he doesn't even have. He's like bald now. But like when you see him, what are you thinking, man?
Man, I'm just glad that I still have hair. That's all I'm saying.
I love it. I love it. So look, I'm going to put a few comments on here, and obviously, this doc's like, this is very good info. Taking out the existing patients. Yes, it's really good info. And guys, you know, I mean, Aaron's in the group here. He's an open book. He's willing to share. He's willing to reach out, talk to him. Tell him what you're doing there. He's a wealth of information. We got someone here that says, just signed up with MVP. First mail out in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Hey, man, good luck. Let us know how it goes. And then we have, I mean, this is all these guys. I said questions, guys. You're just hyping them up here. Amazing customer service. And then, of course, one of my good friends, Chris Hoppower. Aaron's doing a great job. The heat map is legit. Okay, so Aaron, okay. Someone's watching right now. They're like, okay, I get it. I want to do it. I want to really end the year strong. So what's the first thing they need to do? Besides, well, they're going to reach out to you, but what do they need to do? What do they need to have in their head? What do they need to be ready to do to act and get these next 3 months, 3 months mailers out?
Okay. So here's the deal. I love looking at practices. I want to put you guys in the best position to be successful. So I'm putting together a couple deals here that just I think I hate the word no-brainer, but seriously, like if nothing else, even if you don't move forward, it is going to be super relevant data for you and very valuable data. So here's what I'm going to do is one, I want to schedule a demo. If you do a 20-minute demo with me, let me lay this out, show you around your practice. And
are you going to do the heat map?
Yeah. So
speaking of heat map, this doctor's, what's a heat map? Well, look, buddy, it seems like you just showed up. But you know what? You're lucky because, Aaron, can you just kind of squeeze that in while you're explaining all this?
So a heat map is, I don't know, just a term I guess we came up with or used. But basically, I pin drop out where your current new patient growth is. I don't look at old patients. I don't like looking 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Neighborhoods change. They mature, okay? And so I like looking at new patient growth over the last 3 years is what I specifically kind of request. You jump into your practice management software. I have instructions for all of them, open dental, dentics, you name it. I'll send it over to you. You run a report for me. I don't get into your practice management software, okay? You run a report for me. I just need addresses. Start there. I don't need names, production, anything like that. Okay, I'm going to run that through our system. I feed those addresses in, and it pin drops out all of your new patient growth around your practice over the last few years. It identifies the hottest neighborhoods. I look for neighborhoods with the fastest growth opportunities. I look for income criteria. I kind of look at what your current new patient looks like, and I find more of them, basically. And then it links it to the best mail routes. So we have a data of which mail routes are your hottest areas. Okay, that's what a basic heat map is. And then I give you some proposals. Hey, if you want to be conservative, here's our minimum order coverage area. This is what it costs. If you want to do our average order, this, or if you want high growth, this is a more aggressive order. And I lay it out for you there. So that is a heat map analysis. You just need to run that report. We set up a quick little demo, and I'll walk you through it. You'll see right on my screen, just like you're doing right now. I just do a share screen. You're going to have a big MVP Mailhouse behind you, and I just show you on the screen that data. And then you guys you review it on your end. Okay, so that's the heat map side. Now, maybe I'm not supposed to give out the deal just yet, but that part's
so hold off on the deal because, guys, you got to type in the comments section MVP if you want the deal. Type in the comments section MVP. But we got this other question. I think this is pretty interesting here. Is call tracking? Yes, you guys do call tracking. But do you have thoughts on various deals to offer? What are the deals that you see attract the most buzz and get the most patients in?
Hey, that's a great question. So call tracking, 100%. Remember, I'm a stat guy. I came from a football environment where everything was tracked. Like, seriously, it's crazy. How many reps you lift, how many sprints you run, how many ounces of water you drink in the fourth quarter. They track everything. It is crazy. Why? It's $1 billion business, and they know that every last little bit matters. Okay? Analytics matter. So call tracking, yes. The phone number on your postcard, we set it all up. You have to do nothing. It's a local phone number. It'll ring right into your office. You guys answer it just like any other call. The difference is it's being recorded. That's basic call tracking. Follow me. We don't just record the call. Within 24 hours, our team actually listens to the call in its entirety. So I know how many calls you get, but I also know how many people schedule. I know what people are they a cash patient or an insurance caller? I know if they need a crown or if they're asking about a cleaning. We chart all of those things on the back end so that we can give you feedback on your design. We know what people are calling about. So to the offers, that's how we know what offers are working, because we're listening to what people are asking about. That disconnect is huge. You're in the back down the mouth working. The front desk is signing people up, getting people on the schedule, but rarely do they ever write down what they're asking about or calling about on that front. So if they're, and then basically back to your offers, what offers to work? Well, it really depends on each practice. We don't have a cookie cutter program. What works for Dr. Vo might not work for you. You might be a high fee for service. You might be blasting out your in-house plan. Well, let's talk about that in your design. But right now, in-house plan isn't the big selling point. Okay, it's an FYI, but the selling point right now, this time of the year, are flex spending accounts for cash people and insurance benefits that are expiring. So that's what we want to play to. Now, quicker offices, some that are maybe strapped for a little cash, they're trying to get some quicker dollars in. I like emergency exams. I like why people are highly motivated when you got a toothache. Okay, I'll give you an example. I literally had a crown fall out over the weekend. Okay, I kept it in our cup holder. Well, Monday morning when I come at the office, my wife goes and vacuums the van and sucks up my crown. Well, now I went from just putting this crown back on to now needing the whole thing done. And I don't have a dentist here locally because I always go to my father-in-law that's 12 hours away. So what do? Man, emergency exam, I'm all over that. I need to get in, I need to get this thing fixed and get something going because I'm in pain. So emergency exam, free second opinion, those type of things will get some dollars in right away because typically those people are highly motivated. Now you also have the insurance people that are highly motivated right now. So when it comes to offers, we walk you through all those, but it depends on that type of patient you're looking for. Rather than just put the generic, offer out there of $99 or just a generic offer of whatever, free whitening
or something.
Let's talk about the practice and let's do something that you feel comfortable with, that your front desk feels comfortable with and can explain well, because you got to schedule the appointment, right? And oftentimes there's things that aren't even an offer that we make look like an offer. So for example, right now, don't waste your dental benefits. That's not an offer. But I promise you, if you put it in a big Starburst or in a coupon box, it looks like an offer, right? It jumps out to you. Or, hey, we accept most insurance. That's not an offer, but it looks like one when it's shaped and put in a coupon section of your card. Okay, so anyway, we walk through that. That's part of our demo and free consult.
And you know what? I mean, more shout outs are coming in. Guys, type in the comments section MVP if you want to hear the nifty deal here. But we have a comment here. MVP is legit. They even follow up with the team on missed opportunities. Love Jim, Aaron, and the whole team. Hey, shout out to Jim. Silent Jim back there doing that.
He does a great job.
And then we have not cookie cutter. MVP is customized. Yeah. So guys, that's not me. That's not me hyping it up. Tracking. That's not me hyping up, guys. I mean, I'm a big fan. That's not me. That's everybody else in Nifty Thrifty. But Aaron, you were saying?
Thank you, guys. Sincerely, we really appreciate it. We grind it out. We love what we do. We love to see results. We love the scoreboard. We want to win. Okay, so back to that call tracking. Every call you get is recorded. Okay, every call is listened to by us in its entirety. We write down the name of the patient, which staff member. We do free front desk training tips. We do a kickoff call with your team. We go over the MVP playbook. We've listened to tens of thousands of calls. Okay, I want your front desk to know the tips. You're going to schedule more appointments.
So I will say this, Aaron. Remember that email we talked about earlier about a mailer came in. They didn't mention you guys, but you knew it came from the tracking number. I just looked at it again. They have down to who answered the phone, when they answered the phone, who the patient was, and when they booked their appointment. And I don't even know how you got this. Maybe they brought it up in the call, but what insurance they had. And you were like, hey, Glenn, I just want to let you know you got this new patient right here.
Yeah, they said it in the call. So we listen to every call. We write down those things because there may be a certain insurance that a lot of these callers are calling about. We might want to beef it up on the next design. There's a high concentration of patients with this given insurance. So we don't like pre-print all your cards for a year and you're stuck mailing the same thing. We're dynamic as you mail. Every office is unique. Here's the last thing I wanted to cover on that tracking. After your 3 mailing introduction, we do this really cool thing that's called a post-mailing audit. Okay, I have you run your new patient report over the last few months since you started mailing. And then I run my report on my end of every call I have and every name that we heard on these recordings. And I help audit those and merge those together. So we'll catch anybody's. So for example, they call in and you say, hey, how'd you hear about us? And they say, oh, I'm on your website. Well, I know they're calling from the postcard because it's recorded, but your front desk doesn't. So your front desk is going to type in, oh, website, but they're calling from the postcard, right? So we help connect all those dots. And sometimes there's people, this happens all the time. There's going to be somebody that gets this postcard and they're going to call your office in 2 days and they're not going to mention any source. Okay. So what happens there? Well, I'm able to show you any new patient you get and how many, when we mailed to them and how many days later they became a patient. So if someone's calling 3 days later, 4 days later, 5 days later, I would like to think we had some influence. Even if they say Facebook, even if they say internet, we know they got this card and we know a few days later they became a patient. So that's what I help you tie everything together on the back end. This doesn't consume your life. We do all the work on our end. I just want you to have good information and good data, a real scoreboard back to sports, so you can make decisions if you should give Dak that $30 million or not. Should you hire us for another 6 months, another 3 months? That's how you know. You got to, it's all proof is in the pudding, right? In the data.
It's true. And speaking of data and Nifty Thrifty deals, I got this Nifty Thrifty deal here. Okay, guys, look, I mean, I know everyone's coming on. I see a whole bunch of people jumping on. It's kind of like eBay, you know, like people try to slide in at the end and try to win the bid. They slide in because they know it's near the top of the hour here. So, Aaron, I mean, look, I mean, guys, if you feel like you're behind and you really need to get some mailers out, well, Aaron just laid it out for you guys, right? The time is now. You can't just mess around. And if you want to end the year strong, right, get on that demo October, November, December there. So, Aaron, let's talk about a Nifty Thrifty deal, man. What can you do for our members here?
All right. So I've never done this before. Seriously.
I love hearing that.
I'm really sweetening the pot because honestly, these are some of the most predictable months for success in the entire year. Coming up, end of year, first part of the year. It's a great time to get started if you've never done it before. If you've already mailed earlier in the year, it's a great time to come back. But don't mail the same thing you mailed in the spring. Don't mail the same thing you did in the summer. It is a unique time. Here's the nifty deal. Number one, we're going to do that free heat map analysis for you. I'll pin drop everything out. I'll run an analysis for you. You have all that data moving forward no matter what. Okay. Number two, just by booking and completing a 20-minute demo with us, I'm going to do something that I've never done before, but we also print these smaller cards. Okay. Now these are not for mailing. Okay. These are called referral cards or appointment reminder cards. They're smaller, 4 by 6 inch. You can see the difference in size. They're handy. They're great for school events. They're great to hand out to current patients, to refer friends. They're great to hand out around businesses, around your practice, whatever events you're doing. Grassroots, have it in your purse. Your hygienist, your assistant, you know, as they're out and about. Hey, what do you do? I work at dental practice. Bam. It's a great little handout card. Okay. I am willing, if you literally just do a 20-minute demo and do the heat map, I will design this for you. We will print 250 of them, and I'll mail them to your office for free.
Wow.
No strings attached. Design, print, ship.
And I'm assuming if we sign up with you, do we still get those cards?
If you sign up, I'm going to give you 500 of them.
Wow. Okay.
For free. And you get the normal Nifty deal, which is a discount on that first mailing. Okay, if you do our minimum order of $5,000, you'll get $225 off. If you do our average order of $10,000, I'm giving you a full $500 off your first mail.
And is there a baller mailer? Where is there like a higher tier than that?
Yeah. So I have offices, honestly, I have some that mail 25, 30,000 a month.
Wow.
And they do it because it works. They track it all and they're making money. Otherwise they wouldn't be doing this, right? I have some offices that mail 15,000 every 2 months or every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So they keep that phone ringing. Now, most of your calls, 90% of them will come within the first 35 days. So that's why I like to mail monthly, because it gets that new spike of calls. Okay. So let's say you're doing 15,000. If that's what makes sense, you want to be more aggressive and you have that number of homes, legitimately, I don't want to overmail. I will never oversell anybody because it's going to hurt the results. If I get too far from that practice, or I start jumping too many geographical barriers and mental barriers, it's not going to work. So I'm going to look bad and you're not going to like me in 3 months. Okay. So I'm never going to oversell anybody on the area they should hit. So, but assuming you go up to a 15, which is totally normal for a lot of higher concentrate, densely populated areas. Yeah. That goes all the way up to 750 off that first mail on a 15.
I love it. I love
it.
So
recap.
One more time. Yeah. Recap.
Yeah. All right. So free heat map analysis of your practice. That's complimentary no matter what. 20-minute demo with me or a team. As you complete that, no strings attached. I will design. All you need to provide is your logo and any office or staff photos. Like this one, that's a picture of his office up there, right? I don't come and do a photo shoot. You got to provide the photos, but my designers will put together the card until you approve it. And then we're going to print 250 of them, ship them to your office. We pay for everything. Shipping, design, print, everything. 250 for free, just for doing the 20-minute demo. If you sign up, you get 500 of these, and you're going to get a discount on your mailing, depending on the quantity you get, $225 or $500 off. So,
well, that's a nifty deal right there. I mean, look, getting those free cards just for doing the demo, that is huge right there. And
yeah, it's a $400 value. That's what I'd charge for that design time and print time and shipping, $400. And literally, you hand this out and get one referral from it. There's your $750 you just got from that new patient, plus their family.
There you go. You can pass that out at like events and whatnot. And you know what? We have heat maps. Those are so hot. Well, this person obviously loved those heat maps. I do too as well. And so, guys, the easiest way to sign up, we're going to type it in the comments. Aaron's going to type it in the comments section. But look, he's in this group. Message him. Call his team. Comments. He's going to go in there and check the comments, but he's going to put the link in the comments there. Sign up for that demo. Really, there's no strings attached. You sign up for the demo, you learn, you see where the opportunities are, and hey, you get those cards as well. So, Aaron, I love it. And before I let you go, first of all, I'm going to let you have the last words as far as why it's so important to mail right now. I'll let you do that, and then I'll ask you one last question at the end. So I'll let you have the floor right now.
So many of those people out there have been on demos with me. Some of these people that are using us that have commented. I'm not trying to be like this crazy sales guy. That's not my style. I do an exam, just like you guys. You're looking down the mouth, you take some x-rays, and you're going to give a diagnosis, right? Hey, this is what I suggest. This is what I recommend. Now it's up to you to decide what to move forward with. That's my style. Let me look at your practice. Let me look at your neighborhoods. Let me present a plan for you. And if you decide to move forward with it, great. If you can't right now and you're going to put that crayon on a few months down the road or start mailing in the spring, hey, that's fine too. But right now, seriously, your predictability, these are some of the most predictable months. They're high response months. If you as an office accept insurance on 50 or 60% or more of your patients, I recommend it. If you're only accepting insurance on 10%, now let me clarify that. Filing insurance, because a lot of times people say, "Oh no, I'm a cash practice only," and then I'll say, "Okay, well, what percentage do you file on?" And they'll say, "Oh, 90%." I'm like, "Okay, so let's clarify that." So if you file insurance on a high percentage of people, 50, 60% or more of your current patients, this is a great time to mail. End of year message, use it or lose it. You've heard it before. The mistake most people make, they wait too long and they only mail in December. And then they're already filled up with their own procrastinating patients.
Yeah.
You need to get ahead of the ball now and get it in October, early November, early December. And then as we transition into the new year, it's a new story. We're going after new people, new year, new benefits. More people are more likely to change. more likely to jump ship from an unhappy situation with the other dentist or something like that. And that's another podcast in itself for the time of the new year. So there you go.
That's really good advice, Aaron. Thank you so much for jumping on. You know, before we jump off, I want to ask you Super Bowl picks.
Oh man,
Super Bowl picks. I know it's early; things can happen, but your early Super Bowl picks.
Yeah, I just have a hard time thinking that the Patriots don't get back there. Unfortunately, I'm not a big Patriots fan because they win so much. I really want someone else to win, just for the record. But Tom Brady's one of the only players that's older than me, so he's still living on. I can still live vicariously through that. But I think they're going to be tough to beat. I think Dallas, unfortunately, I don't know. I just feel like they're just going to fizzle out. But I would like to see, the Chiefs make a run there too. I watched Andy Reid for a lot of years, and I think he can really be creative. So, I don't know. Saints could come back. I love Breeze. I felt like last year they really got robbed. So not to dodge the question, but I like this. If Drew Brees can get back, I like Sean Payton. He was my offensive coordinator in Dallas when Tony Romo we were rookies there. So shoot, I'll take a long shot there and hope Breeze gets back soon.
Saints, okay, all right. And then one last thing is that how do you feel about Antonio Brown leaving all that money on the table? I mean, you're a wide receiver too.
Yeah. So I have a big problem with him. That's a long discussion. Just be grateful for the moment, man. I don't know. Like, I just don't deal well with those.
What was that? $30 million?
Yeah.
And then now he's haggling for. I mean, not that $9 million is anything to sneeze over, but come on, you left $30 million for acting a fool, and now you're haggling over $9 million.
When you're in it, man, I see him get caught up in it. When it's over and you're looking back, as I'm 42 now, looking back, and I'm like, man, and luckily growing up grounded, I had 5 sisters that were bigger than me. I couldn't ever think I was cool. I'd come home for Christmas, man, I was getting the beat down. So it helped me kind of stay a lot more grounded. But as I look at guys like that, man, it's a waste. I worked so hard for every little ounce of ability I had, and to have that natural ability, not that he's not a hard worker, but I'm just not that TO type, Ocho Cinco type mentality. That's just not me. That's just not my style, man.
Man, and he had like a perfect opportunity to have probably one of the best years he could have if he just not do anything dumb and stay with the Patriots.
Couldn't do it. He couldn't.
Look at what happened to Random House. But anyways, I wanted to ask that. Thank you so much, Aaron. Guys, later on, Aaron's going to put in the comments section ways to contact and get that demo going. But you heard the nifty deal. I'll make a post tomorrow. But Aaron, thank you so much for jumping on. And guys, thank you for watching. We'll see y'all later.